The year 1947, the Palestinian desert. A young Bedouin shepherd is looking for his lost goat. His name is Muhammad Idhib. He is 17 years old, wearing an old, torn garment, a stone in his hand. He cannot find the goat, but he notices something, a small cave opening among the rocks. Thinking the goat might have gone inside, he throws the stone into the cave, and something breaks. The stone hits something inside. The shepherd gets curious and approaches. He enters the cave, and inside there are jars, clay jars, sealed. He opens one of them. Inside, there is something yellow, dry, and worn, pieces of leather, writing on them. That shepherd did not know what he was holding at that moment. The thing in his hand was the most important archaeological discovery in human history, the 2,000-year-old biblical manuscripts, the Dead Sea Scrolls. But today, nobody asks this question. What happened to that shepherd? How did his life change after the discovery? And that change was not what you think. First, it is necessary to understand this. The magnitude of what Muhammad Idhib found in that cave was not understood by anyone that day. There were 7 large leather scrolls in the cave. Among them was the Isaiah scroll, the most complete Old Testament manuscript found to date, 7.3 meters long. It dates back to between 100 and 125 BC. So this scroll was written 100 to 125 years before the birth of Jesus. And the text inside is almost word for word the same as the Bible read in churches today. This finding alone was a revolution, because until then, critics were saying the biblical text was changed, corrupted over the centuries. This scroll answered, no, it has been the same for 2,000 years. But Muhammad Idhib did not know any of this. The leather in his hands seemed meaningless to him, torn, old, dry things. He put them in a bag and took them along with him. Muhammad and his family did not know what to do with those leathers at first. They hung in the tent for a while. Then an acquaintance made a suggestion. Take these to an antiquities dealer in Bethlehem. Maybe they have some value. The dealer's name was Ibrahim Ija. He looked at the leather. He saw ancient writings, but he did not know what it was. These might have been stolen from Jewish synagogues, he said. He refused to buy them. Then they went to another dealer, Khalil Eskander Shaheen. He went by the nickname Kando. Kando bought a piece. The price? 7 Jordanian pounds. 7 pounds. The most valuable document in human history changed hands for 7 pounds. Later, the scrolls began passing into different hands. A portion reached the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. Another part went to America. In the year 1944, an advertisement appeared in the Wall Street Journal. For sale. 4 Dead Sea Scrolls at a reasonable price through a newspaper ad. Those scrolls were sold for $250,000. And now they are preserved in the Israel Museum inside a specially designed display case under controlled temperature and humidity. The share that went to Muhammad? Very little. Very little. In the year 1948, the scrolls were introduced to the academic world, and the shockwave was massive. The New York Times ran headlines. The BBC reported on it. Theologians, archaeologists, and historians from all over the world rushed to Palestine. The Qumran caves began to be excavated. In the excavations that lasted from 1947 until 1956, more than 900 documents emerged from 11 caves, some in full scroll form, most shattered into thousands of pieces, and these documents are still being studied today. The translation of some fragments was completed only in recent years, but amidst all this excitement, nobody asked one thing. Where is that shepherd? What happened to Muhammad Idhib after that great discovery? The answer is disappointing. His life did not change. His poverty did not change. His tent did not change. During years of discoveries, his name was rarely mentioned. Professors writing academic papers, excavations conducted with million-dollar budgets, international museum exhibitions, but Muhammad Idhib was just a small footnote on this great stage of history. For many years, the story of Muhammad al-Dhib almost completely vanished from sight. Debates even arose regarding who actually found them. Some sources claim that Muhammad's uncle was actually the one who found the scrolls. Others pointed to a different shepherd, but Muhammad repeated only one thing throughout his life. I found them. I was looking for my lost goat. I threw the stone. I entered the cave. In the year 1999, an Israeli journalist managed to find him. At that time, Muhammad was living in Jordan, old, sick, still poor. He told the journalist about that day. I was afraid when I went inside. There were jars. I opened them. There was leather. I took it. The journalist asked, "Do you regret it?" Muhammad remained silent for a while. Then he said this, "I did not know what I was doing, but God knew. He sent me there." Muhammad al-Dhib passed away in 2004. It was hardly reported anywhere in the world. A 17-year-old shepherd is looking for his lost goat. He throws a stone, a jar breaks, and the greatest archaeological discovery in human history begins. That discovery shook churches. It excited scholars. It filled museums. Books were written. Movies were made. And that shepherd? He lived poor. He died poor. God sent me there, he said, and he believed it. Perhaps the deepest question is this: the ones who make the greatest discoveries in history are not always the biggest names in history. Sometimes they are just looking for a lost goat, and by accident, they change everything. Remember Muhammad al-Dhib, because he deserved to have his name written on that page of history. Write your answer in the comments. In the next video, we will cover the topic, the untold secret of the Dead Sea Scrolls. What was written inside? Subscribe now so you do not miss it.